Good evening. Dalai Damare Jibe Jai Nobare Jibe Gay Teru Tam Chi Jembe Vartu Jubara Jiba Tam Chi Ji Jibe Mai Nam Ka Tan Yambe Sem Chen Tam Chi Deva Tan Den Dungara Ache Nyortu Lana Mi Bara Yang Ta Bara Zobi Chancho Rinpoche To Bara Chai Dalai Damara Jibe Jai No Bara Jibe Gay Sarva Tam Tam Chi Chenbe Farsu Ju Bara Jiba Tam Chi Ji Zu Jibe Ma Nam Ka Tan Nyambe Sim Chen Tam Chi Dewa Tang Den Dungara Tang Chiye Nyortu Lana Mi Yang Ta Bara Zobe Chancho Rinpoche To Bara Cha
Those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly will I establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood.
Pi chi tu sam ma ji ji par tu lunga yi song ge wa la gor ma shi par tu lunga yi song ge wa la gor tu te ren ne song de nye ma sang ta je par tu lunga yi song ge wa la gor.
Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind.
Chancho mambe marong la kona nima chanda ve toba ga ye chaba la jibu te la ku cha ansi. Owa tanga rang su karsang ta teri rwa uyu chi maas, ta uyu chi maas enda rechung karsang gima ul zay song rwa, ta ul jima ro ya tik kord. Owa teri ta uyu chi maas teri rwa.
Okay, this shorter car. Oh yeah, okay. We continue with song number 57, the later journey to central Tibet. Previously, Rinpoche had already traveled to central Tibet once. So this was his later journey.
Namo Guru Jisu Milarepa Tinyi Je Tu Se Re Chung Ba Tinyi La Chang Timi La Fa Chi Chung Si Chung Do Be Ke Zibe Che Re Jisu Ke Duban Zine Re Chung Jimba Lang Ne Ji Re Chung Ke Jimbe Lang Be Rong Ya Zer Ke Yue Chen Bo Te Yo Ba Sen Je Tom Chi Chung We Fu Nge Fu La Gong Zi Men Zi Sha Men Do Gong Ning Je Chen Bo Do Gong De Yue Jimba Dang Me Jian Je Ke La Cham De Mu De Jo Ba Ho De Jisu Chung Tu Jin Le La Ma La Kamba Chu Po She Ke Hong Mon Chi Ba Long We Kya Gambo Kopa Je Pube Shepsu Dane Jisu Becher Shone Jisu Chuwa Nevo Lop Nam Neko Chode Jisu Ke Shine Chung Pe Kona Buwa Numba Kan Mekyong Ma Cher Yong Gendo Zone Nyor Te Pe Kyakam Jiwa Kan Chatan De Pune Jisu Nyung Den Gorde Shon So That's it. Malo Shana Yang.
Oh yeah. So then there's the song Namo Guru. Rinpoche, the heart son of the Jetsun Milarepa, had some obstacles concerning the Princess Dembu. And in order to clear these, the Jetsun came to Rinpoche, emanating himself as a beggar. Rinpoche had a large piece of turquoise that came from the Yakta Valley, which he wrapped with a cloth and gave to the beggar. My son does not have attachment to material things and has great compassion, he thought. Due to the condition of giving the turquoise, Rinpoche became disillusioned about the Princess Dembu, left her, and returned to be with the Jetsun. On the road, Rinpoche begged from the dying daughter of a rich Kampa and was offered 2 portions of dried meat, which he cut up finely in order to offer the Jetsun. In Chua, the Jetsun, while sitting with his retinue of disciple sons, said, Rajungpa is coming carrying something that is so large it will not fit in this valley. Rajungpa then quickly arrived. He gave a full bag of meat as a gift to the Jetsun and asked him about his health, to which Milarepa replied with this song of realization.
Je kongaran rembe ne yola kan deva je be jin ko le tungani je samwala kam made ma jum kamade ma ji de mo chon du de me ri wala porama thoba de na so de be le bang me me lung be en ba de ji tian do je chim ta la che de zong jo me be de ken do ba ja ma lam de sim sim che me be sim ni de ma do nga jar me ma de kha ju ma mi ba de yo jo so zo mi ba de jung che zo mi ba de chang do程度没把的，咱们没看谁把的，那康中桥把看样的，可康中桥把这样的，谁康中桥把，咱的桥把穷完的，没俺那推那么大的，回去的兄弟我来上，我他就是没来开始呢，上嘛对我人都是空，这个手机上嘛帮。可把帮提上嘛去的，看对呢，对我都是，前两对我因为是咱甚至吃饭的上多。
And so in the song, Milarepa says, no matter what I do, I'm always happy because I have abandoned the 8 worldly concerns. I have given up samsara. That is why I'm always happy. And so then he asked Rajungpa, so are you also happy?
我先从下康给从马车外滚了，要常被人怕这那人基础给，人穷不话弄把没空话钱用都从我的开始了，就被基础给，顺便弄把了下手跟不话没空玩都，穷都把它从被去滚写给出去了，都是他才话多呢哈，滚写给出去都是的话，真什么的很多。
And then the meat was cooked with some vegetables and served to all of the monks. One of the Repa said, the Jetsun said that his heart son Rajungpa was coming with a gift that was so big it would not fit in the valley. What was that gift? The Jetsun replied, the offering of meat and vegetables won't fit in the valley of your belly. At that, everyone laughed. Dipartura?
真的记住给回了那了，往那往因别跟不会的人从把解决，人穷把出来没讲中准备，人穷把头没得穷，面对等头，俺有的人都，人穷给留职起来穷没个张宝记住，对吧？现在他讲当车话的记住给土给，因把了他节前呢记住了人穷把出，俺们那有的人了朋友就是玩多的，俺也没会。就嘛基本上身边了人家嘛我玩都被成本严重那个的，然后是他。
And then the Jetsun said to the disciple sons, now I will give you all an abhisheka, and for the sake of Demdel, you should offer me something. Rajungpa, if you don't give anything, that's fine. Rajungpa, displeased, joined the ceremony. In the center of the mandala, there was a piece of turquoise, unadulterated, that he had previously offered the beggar. Rajungpa was dumbfounded, realizing that the beggar he gave the turquoise to was the Jetsun's emanation. He had confidence it was the Jetsun's compassion to have him part from the lady Dembu. The Jetsun said, Rajungpa, if it were not for me, the value of this turquoise would have become your ruin. You have had uninterrupted devotion toward me and never abandoned your compassion for beings. I am satisfied. And then he sang this song of realization.
我他可是你嘛的热穷的，他讲对是的，你们讲啥家，他的一点往下，他针对地当的热穷的，出发特别搞的考虑嘛的，他就是主要去呢，他呢，他要特别难着吃着哇，可能。
So this part of the story kind of links to the first story when Rajungpa had met this princess lady Dembo and was with her, and then Milarepa then tells him If you stay with her, then it will be very difficult for you to attain any accomplishments in your practice. And so therefore he have diverted him from this track as a method for him to attain liberation.
Milarepa Donum dem cho wang yong chi manuba la chi ba de tusum sang jian chu tang de nga ning jie zhang la qin ba de Milarepa cho ba yin ru ma pa tang ma yin me tela si ji chi ba ne me xie zhen du sa ba yin ke chu tam chi to ba la po ru chia dang chi ba yin lap si chu la po ba yin lap si chu la po ba yin chu la ga na mi ba yin chum da kan ji chu la mu特别就他chi ba yin rang de tam chi xian len du xian pian tam chi rang de ju no ba chi na rang la de特别偏北审计了，经过他也冲突，那趟中啊，他们呀，龙巴查的，他们家查的起三个他妈多，像那这种，那就这种都也发起这多个。
So then I'm gonna read this song. And so then that's a good song because after that Rinpoche regretted and confessed. So the Father Guru's blessings are very powerful. Milarepa's miracle was very significant, and Rinpoche's compassion and generosity are very strong. When you gave turquoise to the beggar, it was I who received it. And this evening, it's a ritual gift for the Chakra Samvara Abhisheka. The compassion you have for those with no power is like an offering to Buddhas after 3 times. Your offering with compassion to me, that beggar, was indeed an offering to Milarepa. Since all beings have been our fathers and mothers, to exclude or discriminate against any of them is like eating strong poison without being aware. The minds of the wise and noble are harmonious. So to boast your own views with attachment and aggression is like throwing all your training into the water. The Dharma that doesn't distinguish right and wrong is partial toward views. It denigrates true Dharma, cuts the rope that takes hold of liberation, and all of one's happiness comes from others, and all benefit for others is the cause of one's happiness. All types of harm are negativity for yourself. Therefore, generating the intention of doing benefit, one comes in the midst of the mandala deities. Confess all your negative downfalls and make strong commitments to keep your vows.
真的，为了热情给，真的协助被热情九八斤的，基础上切着冲突，也换得到我的部落是，为了进度，我才是落上的，对。
Then Rajumba gave rise to regret and confessed in the presence of the Jetsun and his Dharma friends, and then he offered this song of realization.
真的为了进度，因为他那样去给帮我的要求年送，来自帕拉美国人托罗亚，我给印度陈北邦先前喷喷，也为就下乡忙不一大就，这面就把买装备帕拉美中人托罗亚，进度咱们。进度咱把面别就长度都把没长就限度这批来杂呗怕了面头上托罗呀永远冲突强把经过年波中秋强这东忙波吃呢三毛nga给牛排去乔瓦忙波三下定这个航波工作期经过了托罗呀那面上波都啥的那大上前了切把的去让旁扩的马牛吧接着不呢托罗呀你这这穷也换过东下呢
So this is Rajumba's song of confession. With the karma of distraction, wishing for bodily comfort, I follow after appearances that led me along. Deceived, I gathered karma of the lower realms. I confess these before the body of my father, Guru. Masters of deceit have a love of words. Such a skillful tongue is a cause for the hells. Lots of meat and liquor make for becoming a preta. Heedless speech and dishonesty, these I confess before the speech of my father Guru. Wishing for pleasure is the cause for malevolent mind. With desire for fame and doing unwholesome conduct, one accumulates all kinds of negative karma. I confess these before the mind of my father Guru. By wandering in the towns of evil lands, the ritual practice of the powerful mandala was broken. With the activity of intimidating many demons, the power of profound mantra strayed. By making plans for doing many things, the stream of excellent samadhi was cut. This I confess before the mandala deities. By staying in various sleeping quarters, I began to distinguish self and other. That I couldn't take defeat on for myself, I confess before my Dharma friends. So.
谢谢被记住这把那么往堂我出去把那的也是往出来做这头这把希望我给记住弄像记住热情把了弄像拉往特别基本上用些吧拉记住给突然谁个吧当热情也会结果今天这拉些被推出他那个些个吧一种那个的从说是他马上看了。
And then the Jetsun gave the Abhishekam and extensive pointing out instructions to all the Repas. Sitting in the assembly row after the Abhishekam, Repa Shiva Ö said to the Jetsun, Rinpoche is someone who has attained mastery over prana and mind and has taken a secret consort. Shouldn't the Jetsun consider this? Why is it necessary for Rinpoche to offer his confession here? The Jetsun replied, you must understand the important key points of time. Then he sang this song of realization.
Gaji jen marwe shablan rangju nam te pepara chinje lo lo me ju su she bar tu ge song chu tu su mi na nen jor che ten lan do du mi na me gan che se la de su mi na mo sun che ba yin le la chi du mi na khur yo che ba yin da lan che du mi na pa won che ba yin jian tang che du mi na zu po che ba yin dong ar chung du mi na pen do che ba yin gom la ning ru mi na re po che ba yin ji pen jai la mi na 抽进切吧，一些么子罗碰切吧，蓝切注意呢，咱们切，娘是龙堂不落，那是。
Laura?
咱落像那么来，咱是那样，毛不落，落啥？So
then this is the song. I bow at the feet of Marpa, who is so kind. Grant your blessing that my mind stream goes to the path. Accept me with compassion that I know my disciples' mind streams. Not knowing the right time for practicing Dharma, the yogi goes astray. Not knowing the right time to speak, the elder goes astray. Not knowing the right time for giving food, the housewife goes astray. Not knowing the right time for doing work, the servant goes astray. Not knowing the right time for encountering foes, the hero goes astray. Not knowing the right time for meeting adverse conditions, noble monks go astray. Not knowing the right time for enduring suffering, benefit will go astray. Not having endurance in meditation, your goal will go astray. Not supporting one another, Dharma friends will go astray. If the student doesn't listen to the master, the relationship with the disciple will go astray. The ways one can go astray are fathomless. Practice as I tell you, my disciple sons.
真的些种呗，跟那些鸡，真的这种，那么搞往搞康那么做吧，他们家真的协作总把它起的，那他们都这些，非给呢一个这些某种不吧，这一部分那个这了，没检查机，爬机做检查机去说啊，你别这人是别管的种说，或者这种某那么是没多，我们那么是说，他这块的那有的就是没得，这某那么是了，这些价格，他我这家没些老过呀，没得是吧？
And so here basically next then Rinpoche had a dream, and he asked Milarepa about the meaning of his dream.
我大起嘛那米都现在朝堂点吧，就那飞人讲吧，一个人他你从那个娘用路人不，技术解决，技能用是他听过嘛老乡那些，这类就提给嘛那么接受做，嘛那么接受，我那着下挺多。
And so then the Jetsun replied with the song of realization on the meaning of Rinpoche's dream. The dog means that you will have a companion. Your mind stream will be softer than wool. The words mean you will be learned in the meaning of terms. You will cry out your experience by singing songs, and you will be greeted and escorted by 88.
tene yang nobje manamdas kopune chudu chajin porne shinkara hwamne melon tawa mi ba hubes dan tate malo shan chasan de hidan ko so samari yang.
And then another evening, Rajungpa dreamt he took off his clothes and began washing with water. Then, transforming into a bird, he flew up into a tree and looked into a mirror. He told his dream to Milarepa, who replied,
Chuji tsende go yun damba chimi chuye du chamdang jingje chelula soni denbe yokpa da hwaba changchop xingze hwa melon kanro da songjong xie zong sos wa de lo xiang na yang.
okay, again. Oops, let's go on. Okay. Peeling off the clothes of this life's 8 concerns, you washed with the stainless water of the instructions. The body of the bird of loving kindness and compassion flew with the wings of the 2 accumulations and landed on the top of the tree of enlightenment, then received the symbolic teachings of the mirror Dakinis.
Xie zong yang nobje menam de homo xie xiong de ka qin je lo de rewa ko na ho rewe ko chong ba mi ji zu la yu be tik chen homo da la xiong kurwa ta la jab chot nyang en du ji se rewa gung je re ne yin o ta se yang lo xiong na ma re ta zai xin menam de kon do na ji.
On yet another night, Rachungpa dreamt that he was riding backward on a donkey and was wearing a garment of coarse yak hair. When he told the Jetsun of this, he explained, "You ride the donkey of the Mahayana and turn your back upon samsara. You greet nirvana right at your front and will be the object of hope for all." So.
Xie zong su yang nobje ki menam de nurwa go to to cha reka chema mi ba lu la chong melon ya ta ba xie da ne cha ye dorje dang yong ba to ba se ji nam ne be me ji chung su yu xiong ne jab ne wong chi ba dang lu la me pong bar ba lu ne chu meng dor ba nyin la nyin da xia ba yong ne je pa dang hu mi mong bo ye bien do be ke ye chong ne lu gu dang ri bu ri lo ba xie do be ba xian ye chong ne lu gu je ta ri bu xian je zhong xin do be lu gu je mong bo pe ne mi be ji su la xu be ji su xian de guan de zong so ga ju chen me ga ju la ma je bor gom ga ju la ma noro ga ju noro la ma je bor gom ga ju re ka chen me la ni ju ngo no me chu xiao je do je lo tong de yong pe de tong nyam nyong je bian dian ni pe zhong je gu ji chung zhe je ding ji je do ba jam ne wo xian qi cho ta nyam nyong kong tong do lu la de mo me zhong ba nian da wo xian ngang zhe yong ne jie pa hui mei zhe bao wu ba mo dian dian chung ye yong ri do rang ko je lu gun per be nian ju ta te dar wo ma yin be ta te dar wo ma yin be ta chung ye sa de o de lu gun per be nian ju ta san ta ma lo xiang na ma le te re te do te dar wo ma yin be ta ta nge sa de do ma go ta go be tu lan do song xie lu jia tu la ba ba a le te sin sa ma le ta lu gun per be nian ju ta sa ra ba lo xiang na
Look, Papara.
no lu gun per ba nian ju ta sa wo tra ba
Okay. Again, on another night, Rajungpa dreamt that a jewel was placed upon his head. He was wearing stainless clothing on his body and was looking into a rust-free mirror. In his right hand was a vajra, and in his left hand he held a kapala filled with food. He was seated upon a lotus seat in the vajra posture, and at his back light swirled and radiated. His body was ablaze with fire, and in front of him a pool of water sprang forth. In his heart the sun and moon shone. To his left many men and women were sitting in a row, and to his right he looked after a single sheep and a herd of goats. Then the single sheep multiplied into many. When he told the Jetsun of his dream, the Jetsun said, "This is what your dream means," and he sang this song of realization. The jewel is you meditating with the Guru at your crown. You have the stainless white cotton cloth of the Kagyu lineage, and you look at the mirror of the whispered lineages pointing out. The Vajra in your right hand means you have conquered conceptuality. Your left shows you sustain the experience of bliss emptiness. The lotus seat means you're not sullied by faults. The Vajra posture means you abide in one-pointed samadhi. Realization swirls radiantly at your back. The signs of heat and experience burst forth in the pool. In your body, Chandali blazes like fire. The sun and moon mean you abide in a state of luminosity. On your left, the line of men and women are the Dakas and Dakinis invited here. There. On your right, the sheep and goats mean you will protect your disciples, and the multiplying of sheep means that the whispered lineage will spread.
전에 대다로 원만 다 대다로 원만 이베 다 지랑 녜사 도마 공도베 송웨 단 두제 되로 화베 랑제 통자 친본 줘봐 송네 셰담 권데 송소 사 들어가나.
And then he said, since all of these things will happen, you do not need to remain here at my side. You can now go forth. The time has come for those whom you will tame. So perform vast benefit, self and others. Then Milarepa sang the song of realization, of advice.
허제 종당 레청초 군대견라 라데 나마 템바 드네 메미 잠바 효란 허제 종당 레청초 주 유라 차포선 방만의 저초권반지는 준비 오도 효련죠 랭엔 랭엔 집에 잡아젠 노라 착선 방는 참미 힘이 지는 대전남나 허제 종당 레청초 과제에 잡아네 허산체베 지내지 라니 지포 도소나 신감 남다 효란죠 허제 종당 레청초 탐주 다다 탐주 달라다 준데 미망보 지리지 라마로폰 지마마 가장 도탐 차바마 주장 주바상 dom셰 파예 허제 종당 레청 년에 탐주 지고나 주년 본년 본로고베 카힌오고 마제베 셰포 진도 제와이 허제 종당 레청 리상제 톰도 신데 대치 마상 마상바 랑심자와 마쇼로 곰바주라 대한시 종당 종 어다 돈다로 진상 보트 태종도 다나마 탐바된 저초토는 된데 제정 이군이 도파서 제공그레스 어테인디 대초토서 녀몽 그냥 본로 그레스 어테인디 다냠나한테 준 그레스 어테인디 나오종도 다 참마로 참마리.
And so this is the meaning of the song. He says that if you rely on a guru and a mountain retreat, then realization will arise naturally. And the Dharma needs to become an antidote to the afflictive emotions. And therefore, you should sustain your practice.
당보르추 도 제장 조신도 난 로 제장 다 손라 샹보 강케 다 쳬보 나 로로 도본 삼스 심지아 통치 해종 자 레종주 당보 만로데 다 거로 와거나 단로야 뒤로 합딘도 어때 사자도 다 지난 심지아 통치 정도 사자 개신도 같으면.
So Milarepa said that before I told you to stay, but you wanted to go. But now you should actually go. So now is the time to go to the sacred site of Charpo Forest at Shambhu's Snow Mountain.
드네 허제레 총 허제 방에 허총 허제 레총바 우르 호제 유서송 허제 나게 통보초 라마제 워르 공경이 주바 남제 세버초 담제 인미 zonchen 년준지베 돌매초 마레 멤버 세신 간데 남라 베신 간미 남라 상신 텐베 조신 조신 간데 투지 지신 로초 서kan 점신 샹보 칸라 곰스송 도본 삼수 곰바 토 산트마로 하나 레종 자친 보인 정도 레종 말라레.
I read this song. Milarepa now really tells Rinchen some praises. Wait a minute. Where are we? Okay. Rinchen great son of this father. Now go to the land of Yu in Tibet. You most meaningful from among my 4 sons, go now and meditate with the Guru at your crown. You, a son of the lineages, go now and keep Samaya without distraction. You lamp, a holder of the whispered lineage, go now and clear the darkness of ignorance. Go and spread Dharma to suitable ones. Go and keep it secret from those unfit. Go and place the life force rod of the teachings. Go and accept the suitable ones with compassion. Go and roam at the southern border. Go to meditate at Shambhu's snow mountain. Go find the retreat at Tibet's border at Do.
真的，这从别的从别切子呢，接触了恰普呢，学动的罗斯样的普罗斯。
And when Rinpoche was prepared to depart, he prostrated to the Jetsun and offered some words with this melody.
怕也会见热穷吧，那么高兴为顺着，热穷为顺着完了，都这个也情节了，长胖中去话题说，当面头就那么那种基础，跟他们对话说，热穷为顺着完了，各地间嘛，他动作，我从团来人保去，最终上街对外个，如果对话，这边公布对话说，我现在去。遵守去，秋节间连对话说，固定昆明人保去，马来门把对话说，结果通电突突间，强叫那么那看对话说，我谈多对呢，热穷盘着的，但那么高兴啊，无论着进是相对的呢，就是que lunga i som la tanong chinji la bro chis o te jitu kun kam devo shuro chi sta de chung tenru la shudo pa
Not that not a true song. Oh yeah. Yeah, so now Rinpoche in brief says, so now I follow the command of you, the Father, and I will travel to central Tibet, and so he says, so he's asking to receive Milarepa's blessings of body, speech, and mind.
真的，咱几处给热穷了，总为给打工就从过的时候，后打吧就是马季这，光把这出从些去，就把从人帮些，他们在弄嘛对些，这问题吧，从些看，后就是心目有去，我他真多心目有去罗。但特别这就就那点来把这些国怕情报有种12趟这趟人了出被现在忙头那的这穷他那么这么破那么个情绪为什么话靠他穷的见下事情么那么的我那说是他妈老像那样
And then as Rinpoche departed, the Jetsun sang this song of realization on the view, meditation, and conduct. Son, do not take on any biased views. For meditation, keep to mountain retreats. For conduct, abandon negative friends. For samayam, let your perceptions remain harmonious. For fruition, contemplate your death. Son, in the year of the female wood rabbit, on the 14th day of the horse month, you should return here. It is very important that you do. Then he gave Rinpoche a piece of gold and many bits of hard advice. Though Rinpoche found it nearly unbearable to be separated from his guru, he was determined to go to central Tibet as the guru commanded. Then, as he wept, he offered the song of aspiration to meet his guru again.
자가르 추상 페보추 농바 왕케 소소양 추보 강토 로제 예 장소 롱토 지레지 샤는 차르엔 저도도 노브드 세베 다바니 니게 왕케 소소양 와제는 강토 로제테 군티미 켄강토 제데지 제베 토당 로로체 마레 왕케 소소 스니 강토 로제테 추인 강토 제데지 지투르라 쇼바탄다레 총전 감고르바 주류 왕케 소소네 추큰 강토 로제베 我们呢是节点，怕几处公看对吧？或者从为什么做吧？就是大的从为什么做吧？就是同大事情多，龙巴说去看一下，确实龙巴的麻烦，对，这讲做哪几款吧？我这是，多对那几处他的出手的那啦，这从没讲他们过说那天你不就路看一下，同大讲去看这这是，这蛮结婚，现在我听说人多，三个人多的意思，然后多下来都是，我就是。
And so to summarize this song, Rinpoche says that all the rivers are of a single taste because they will all meet in the vast ocean. And so similarly, within the Dharmakaya, or the Dharma expands, that we all are one. In the Dharmakaya, we are of single taste, and therefore we will meet again.
전에 다 지수기 샵지보로 나는 몰람답데 송데 우스페 철보 나지 곰발라 쇼드 수사점 약관 부터 총 스타트 다리 사점 되면서 제와 뭐고 되게 많다 장보는 이제 디트란 전에 이제 장보지 어떻게 당도 뭐그 장보 bom보는 우리도 장보 납자사요다 고요라 어떤 전에 이제 이제 장탄 되게 뭐라는 전에 이제 되게 뭐라는 전에 이제 전에 당에 말에 좀 유파만 뭐 슈트로 잠세디 조소서와 어디 전에 이제 잡들 뭐라나 어떻게 다 약관 부터 총 스테 뭐 약관 지가 될도 통만 제가 만한 바란디 제스 토지 세와 첨부 투제 체와다 단년에는 차 년에는 차는 게 말에 좀 협선다 지가라 어제 렌차 차 효와 년지 제가 나네 유신 pom에 고성지 동안 넘버 세미 투제 첨부 총대 된차 요신도 세르크 나지 나온 건데 좀소스 어제 때 가서는 레좀 지투크들이 자제 나송아 어다 지투 오늘 진짜 지투 나 침도 요 말아다 진짜 나를 지투 진짜 나야 가르잖아 다 참 되면 야화지야테 세르케 제통자의 chen 제통자 세르케 chen 초天자의 chen 고성 투게 양대 고성 투게 chen 어때 신야테 지투 세르테 다치리
And so then taking the Jetsun's feet to his crown, he made many aspirations, and then he departed for central Tibet. And while he was staying in a monastery at Charpo Forest, there was a lady who came to offer her confession to him. And so this lady is actually Lady Dambu from before, not the lady that Rinpoche was actually with. And so she came to confess because of their disagreement. There was a breach in Samaya, and so she also then kind of was in the she was quite destitute, because she kind of ended up in a group of lepers, of 500 lepers, and so she also contracted it. And so at that time she met with Rinpoche again and offered confession. And then at first he would not see her, but then after a while, out of great compassion and at the earnest request of Rinchen Dorjee, he granted her an audience. And Rinchen Dorjee, that was an attendant of Rinpoche later on. And then as she was poor and destitute, she suffered with her 3 gates, and Rinpoche had great boundless compassion for her. Moved, he wept and gave her a piece of gold, and then sang the song of realization. And so that's that piece of gold that he had previously offered to Milarepa, but who had no need for that. And so then later he again received this piece of gold, and then later used this piece of gold was used after Lady Dambu's confession. It was used for various holy objects of enlightened body, speech, and mind, such as a stupa.
전에 다 진짜 매래 샤블란데 가디전에 양양천 중앙 참만저 링모죠. 나라메 총토 제베 워컨 탐모 유모지 메데 땡도 샤네 통마코 하버요. 나 우스 만조 다 우스 송셰 대전신 코 원자지 파지 수테에 남타르다 제사사도 제반미 제한데 체르케 대전신 코 예랑지 파예낭베 제한데라 상제군다 마투키 제류제 제바 타바이 송아 초가 마투통 등아제 제바 타바 초天사사 마투토 예제 제바 타베 나투랑선 본토쇼 통토년주 담마도 양양제라 소르바테 갑순 바 양양 대단조 통전조 스탄고르트 말로샤나 레종고르트.
And so then this is Rinpoche's song. At the feet of Mila, supreme among beings, I supplicate. I think of your kindness again and again. Please accept me with compassion. Your talk is unlike any I have heard. When I was in my guru's presence, the large piece of turquoise, our basis of quarreling, was placed upon the mandala. Seeing that made my hair stand on end. Before he told me, don't go to U. Now to U you must go, he says. I think of this and I'm truly amazed. In the life example of the father Jetsun, there was no difference between gold and dirt. He told me, here now take this gold. Thinking of this, I give rise to joy. With this goal that was given to me by my father, make many statues of the Buddha, and through that purify the obscurations of your body. Recite many dharanis and mantras. Through that you will purify the obscurations of speech. Make many stupas and tattas. Through that you will purify mind's obscurations. Inwardly, leave your mind as the witness. Ultimately, practice the whispered lineage, key instructions. Again and again, supplicate the Lord. And from time to time, give rise to regret. Act in this way and accomplish great benefit.
写中呢是他那讲，当像你看这位结束，从是真的研究去，那么我们就被像这里出他讲念头去，他像是在这里就对他讲对不对？去玩的帮我就有他的，真的这里的出了他讲，念头节呢，现在偏偏那叫什么？那叫嘛上坡去穷嘛，因可以有去美国的，是他的老乡呢。
Then with great love, he accepted both the lady and the uncle under his care. He gave them the instructions of the whispered lineage, put them to meditate, and through that, the uncle became free of leprosy. It is said that the lady, giving rise to excellent experience and realization, became an excellent yogini who benefited others. This is the cycle of the later journey to central Tibet.
真的，咱用到这些些提过的多，就用到的，这他做些的，这他做些啥些的哇？我这里去就听到了，这些提过的多的。
And then the next song, 58, is called Dashitek, and so that is about a benefactor of Milarepa, who lived at Lado in Jin, and his name was Dashitek.
那么我说是就是Milarepa的你，这他做用到这些这个，下头后头用到忙不了，求别就是这些这个就是了，这头求一把个问都的，个人都的让去打让去这头求一把忙不起把的。根本的打的是，用到忙不求去把的这些一把根本的打开让去，你看没我把都就是光让基本都被贴把起破光让个把都上一把拉我们切的送给老百姓嘛我们呢先娘说了嘛同民一种的过程中，我他就是这了他用到忙不求学的是这些的课，他就当求也要个问的都是呢。个问的钱都是呢，就是像我们这把家的，我说我们家那啥的，应该用什么都是他学多好。
And so at that time, there were many benefactors receiving Dharma teachings. And so then Dashitek said to Milarepa that receiving these teachings, he feels great joy. But then he says, I also feel ultimately wouldn't I be most happy. I'm just doing meditation. And so then he asked her for a teaching on meditation.
真的他就是我的种这是他就是前头种钱那边去马工呢，要么是马上那同民一种的我的种说，那马工去的俺家的就马说一边回到碰着人，马有别人直播可吧人，农民产品年轻节那边，长东这边我可。年赛季，年冬那边种了年开米，天天用到回了忙，他就进这边产品看起买几把，你们用用年赛长播东他怎么种看的过程。
And then the Jetson said, explanations are given and trained in for the sake of meditation. Therefore, if one studies without practicing and meditating, then study is useless. Then he sang this song of realization. Teaching Dharma without practice just brings pride. A son adopted but not cared for becomes a destructive demon. Without instruction, a load of books is a useless burden. Without transmission, they are the yoke of swindlers. Whom will they benefit? When hearing the deception of the provisional jnana, one is happy. But no one wants to hear the definitive speech of the Guru. Faithful benefactors and disciple sons practice sublime Dharma. Don't listen to those who are heedless and deceptive. Rely on humble, true words that are without fault.
真的他这里马子中东西中，你把这就其那忙不拉巴里为通托的他这下那片马把忙不为我嘛这样呢，伊拉没劲吧，来里不忙不我可能就是你干的先把钱那就去讲，可就人，然后就把龙就那里点的原天那热了，平时间那特别给恐怕那么原天没地了，现在们就龙有像那钱呢，龙没吧，现在其他去。现在看哪头的人家们去也讲，你是马里呢，忙不写吧去呢，我们过吧咱们的，现在他那确定没，那就去破解，那另外去呢没过吧这讲没吧，那么什么忙呢？看着我们些，着讲这了大嘛就嘛，现一扎咱们就对没，什么这老不人了，提供的写吧记的，基本拉开没错的，从那过那种，他他妈老许。
And then Milarepa said, if you want to definitely practice the Dharma, do lots of training. It will be helpful if you practice for a while in accord with its meaning. If you talk a lot, you will just become confused toward the higher and lower views, and doing many seemingly good things without truly taking hold of the mind. You will be deceived. If you have great attachment to this mundane world, though you may practice Dharma, your practice will be full of hypocrisy. Furthermore, some Dharma practitioners focus on their own few accomplishments and developing pride about the good qualities of those, lose their faith in the good qualities of the previous masters and do not receive any blessings. If you think you have lots of leisure to practice Dharma, when actually there is no leisure at all, then when death comes, what is there to do? You should use all of the Dharma understanding you have and practice by looking inwardly. If someone does not combine study and practice into one, they may know a lot and think, I should practice, but there will be no end to what can be intellectually known. If you speak with a noble master rich in the Dharma, he will say, there is not a bit of the Dharma one doesn't need. You will have lots of profound key instructions, but will not know which ones to actually practice. You may choose one to practice, but then when signs of experience do not come, you may think, should I be doing a different practice? And no accomplishment of any kind will ever come. It will be like someone who studies something new for a long time, but forgets what he knew before, like a flower in the hand of a child. Then Milarepa sang this song of realization.
용다 대바진 렌데베 돕테 메셰바 득젠 터바 톱드레 론다 송완 론다 샤송와 셀라세 메지바 론다 송나가 남다 예상사 메세 송와 메셰베 nombo 메 체초인 싱에바 탐촌 지고나 초바 신사 타라 잠네 공초 좀나치 샤토 라마 제라치 셰사파탕 마라치 김바 렘보 미라통 편도 마누 바라치 랑주 초당 듄나레 탐촌 초냠네치나 마메고 켈레 망보 좀보인 제진주라 엔조르도 스탄고르트마 롱샤나.
Then Milarepa sang this song. Listen again, faithful benefactors. Not understanding the strength of the truth of karma, evil ones hope to attain liberation, but they are pained by the passing of days, months, and years. Unhappy ones are joyful when the days and months go by. Will this season be a good one? They always ask. Without being aware, the human life passes on. This is the discernment of a foolish man. If you are truly determined to practice the Dharma, make offerings to pure objects, take refuge in the three precious jewels, give service to the Guru Lord, be respectful to each of your parents, give generously without hope of repayment, do benefit for those who are powerless, engage in conduct with your mind stream concordant with Dharma. If you practice Dharma, you don't need much. Having many commitments is false. Look to see if your mind stream is joined with these.
이발라 년나 마보요 제 매년 남송비 지장 년바 송아学学 원한데다 지구나 편반데다 레이신고데 송소 사마로 샤는 양제.
And then the benefactor said, what you have said is easy to understand and helps our minds. We will practice in accord with your instructions. Please give us more Dharma advice that is appropriate for our understanding. The Jetsun replied, if you will listen, I have many excellent methods to share. Will you listen? We will most certainly listen. Please tell us, they said. Well then, since this will be beneficial for you in both this life and the next, it would be excellent if you did this. And then he sang this song of realization.
전에 당고르스진도 오나 연다 포모나 지 땡지 손함 지고나 뭔가에 칼라 녀바나 제벤타마 녀바르제 대저 삼촌 지나래 주메 노르제 라소 두 대저 진바 다나래 지게 년두 사장네 대저 니미 곰나래 주메 상가르 제장제 대저리 멤버 대나래 감제 사동 지장데 대저 소소 지나래 유지 레라 세바미 대저 샤바 다나래 레모 담나 센타미 마바지나 마바지나 TV 마바지나 담가 바과 넘쿠다 남마케 바데나 냠냠바 다샤 추오신도 곰나 레버 도동 주보데 nenjor로라 샤바 디베 용다 추케 뭐다 제단단데 참마로나 마로 어떤데 조데 지수면 디펜스 로당도 자 추냐면 야고 지고레 슬람도단 돈다 터진도.
So to summarize this song, Milarepa said, he speaks of the need to abandon, to give up mundane concerns and the need to practice the Dharma.
시에종 용다 포모 남의 점로당 심지 오와 몰람지 담지 추나완조네 되네 곰캔 곰친캔 양망보 총면 냠토지바 카리에 총 자시제 코스다 말로샤나.
And then all the men and women benefactors there took refuge, roused bodhicitta, dedicated and made aspirations. All of them developed a Dharma outlook. Many among them became meditators and some developed good experiences. This is the cycle of Dashitsek.
다 지지냐마지 고르스 지세티 기타로마서 집상 고르트랄 레스.
And then 59 next is the song about the students of Drin, which is more like a general Dharma teaching.
나몽고르스 지수 Milarepa 티니 지지 장칸나 추규스 제세당 쿠요 라소베게 냐마 용다 군지 슈바 통베 니바 제세 bomje 트레인 더 토구나 코데베 추신 나마 슈베 지수 키치 나마 나바도 단용존은 gond종 소스.
So Namo Guru, when the Jetsun Milarepa was staying at the stone castle of Drin, Tsetse and Kujuk, along with all the other benefactor students, requested the Dharma. On the day they were to depart, Tsetse Bum said, please teach some Dharma that is easy to understand for all of us who are gathered here today. The Jetsun said, very well, all of you focus your ears and listen. Then he sang this song of realization.
전에 파전초 말베 진제로 대류나마 저로 출라지 많이 사제 냠zem바 지포람나 추셰고 포람남나 추미 추 포체저 포장 체저 고폰다 도사 토양 통고총 폰링남나 추셰고 폰링텔라 추미 코상 자타 차원다 바서시양 통고총 폰타마남나 추셰고 타마텔라 추미 송당 코 총배 홍 코상 총배 홍겐다 쿠르테치양 통고죠 모랍남라 추케고 모랍텔라 추미 모텔라강 로진다 수기상양 레이버 통고총 몬딩텔라 추케고 몬딩텔라 추미 모치와 모타치와 무흉다 속주친 계장 통고총 몬타마텔라 추케 몬타마텔라 추미 몬탐 모 아치하모 모탕 아치하모다 잠잠마야 통고죠 지 겐고남라 추케고 겐고남라 추미나 동보콘의 루반다 다션남라 추케고 다션남라 추미 랑랑 코스럼 다반다 다션남라 chuke meher namna chuminan falan nurba daban shomba namna chuke kum shomba namna chuminan metho soke jiban jiba namna chuke jiba namna chumi tiran sala guban khantar shejang chumina khantar chirong chumin 통고 요바 제장미 통고 요바 지고나 담배사 존지나 담배사 주 지나 센스 어다 제당sel라 포모 개용 사마들 추고레스 추미나 수보야고 바세 카로나 펜토 마레스 수본제고 바세 카로나 펜토고 마레스 어다 카르지나 조원의 추고레스 담배사 주 지나 야보레스.
And so to summarize the song, so all male and female, everyone, every person needs the Dharma, no matter who one is. Anyone aspiring toward virtue needs the Dharma, and nothing else is of any use. For example, having a beautiful appearance is useless. What everyone needs is the Dharma.
전에 다 시송 연다 쿠초 바당 지수 흘러 남는 데다 대zamhe 요냐 다른 저출란 직보로 랑지반도 베서 초상보해 요래지 휴베게 시다요라 내가 좀 친다요라 휴벤데라요 저는 건데 좀 소스 테마로샤나.
The female benefactor Kujuk said, Jetsun, you have these monks and disciple sons here with you now. Yet you still are happy living in mountain retreats all alone. Do you have any other good friends? This is what they are like. Then he sang this song of realization.
Palamana chancel, one nature to Jambala, Trosambo Nishu, Zacento, Lama Yedam, Kandrosum, Sorwan Debe, Trossus, Sanjay Shudan, Ginduson, Jamne Hube, Trossus, Dotan Jutan, Denjuson, Lumnia Chibe, Trossus, Zatan Lontan, Tigdesum, Tamlangobe, Trossus, Detan Zetan, Methoson, Yambar Jobe, Trosuku, Tamamohu, Ingezo, Chancho Jobe, Trossus, Babon Kandro, Chushon, Watisibe, Trosus, Angor Sonkana.
This is the song. I prostrate to the Father Guru. This yogi roams in mountain retreats. There I have 21 excellent friends. The Guru Yidam and Dakinis, these three, they are excellent friends whom I supplicate. The Buddha Dharma and Sangha, these three, these are excellent friends to whom I go for refuge. The sutras, tantras, and treatises, these three, they are excellent friends with whom I study. The nadis, pranas, and bindus, these three, they are excellent friends on the path of means practice. Bliss, clarity, and non-thought, these three, they are excellent friends of meditative equipoise. Pure vision, devotion, and compassion, these three, they are excellent friends of accomplishing enlightenment. The Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharmapalas, these three, they are excellent friends who clear away obstacles.
Shezome Monare, Monsarchevada, Trotan, Rone, Tudam, Zepe, Chinda, Shetavion, La Shubik, Nera Yon, and Gordon so.
And then she said, how wonderful. Can you use some examples to tell us what these friends are like when you are with them and while doing your practice? Milarepa said, they are like this. And then he sang this song of realization.
전에 노르젠 창제 menchina 자조르 말바 인치 저도 주베 라마라 소르반 뎁소 진제로 nga 직속 년대에 대팅 루주 라만 쇼바세 베라 제다르 제자나 메테 달라 주반다 라메치나 로레데 nga 잡생 권초 존나치 두개 인미 좀마 베라 제다르 제자나 회사지 회사 방에 제 소반 저 중에 미바 로레데 예나 보고 진제로 메두 제나 시바 베라 제다르 제자나 손올리라 거반 Gorvanda, Geshamiba, Lorede, Yona Bamo, Chinjelo, Moro Derbe, Moro Namni, Derva, Bela Chetar, Shizana, Masing Chambe, Gorvan, Gondunjuma, Lorede, Duna Chuchon, Tamadu, Jorvelena, Drobachi, Bela Chenda, Shizana, Chenolila, Jiban, Jesam Droba, Lorede, Azu, Chuni Dabe, Zarsumzo, Tingme, Sinja, Nomba, Bela Chetar, Shindan, Sintu Kanlan, Chuva, Yamno, Yamami, Lorede, Gomba, Tapi, Yoruji. Chunin Kala, Dengwanda, Bela Cheddar, Chinzan, Gopo Tone, Longwan, Lundo Maybe, Loredi, Najoba Simla, Nardone, Chimo Sibe, Transomji, Bena Cheddar, Chizan, Jatanala, Zuma, Jitra Maybe, Lord, Andrew goes some motor, Drupon Chibanda, Bella Cheddar Chizan, Yazan Mechula, Zebana, Young Amy, Lord, Nagaps, Bobby, Yanchung, the Norman Sija, Nomba, Bella Cheddar Cizan, Indrukana, Drobanda, Shumbami, Lord, Najor Mala, Repanga, the Chumi, Remba, the Bella Cheddar Chizan, Radan, Radan, Jipa maybe Lord, the Dana, Chedarchi, Lobenga, Tondo, Lubenga, Tonta, Tubonde. Chomgore Sobe Layeso, Tomain, Yanji Ambodo, Zamo Ranke, Samlaton, Tika Menju, Zamrich, Jashi Chuntu, Monam de Samaloshan, Benas, and Oluchan.
Okay, so this is the song. From Great Bachadara on down and up from Marpa the translator, Siddha gurus of the lineage, I supplicate you, please grant your blessings. Upon the sun and moon seat at the crown of my head, sit the guru of the practice lineage. If I give an example of what they are like a strand of pearls strung together. To be blessed by the guru, what a delight. My supports are the three precious jewels. They look after me undistracted with compassion. If I give an example of what they are like a mother caring for her treasured child on her lap. To be free of weariness, what a delight. On my right, the Dakas give their blessing. They clear away all adverse conditions. If I give an example of what they are like sharp weapons waving over my head. They have no adverse conditions. What a delight. On my left, the Dakinis give their blessing. They bestow the two kinds of siddhi. If I give an example of what they are like mothers and sisters who surround me with kindness. To receive all one wants or needs, what a delight. In front are gathered the Dharmapalas with Samaya. They perform the activity with which they are entrusted. If I give an example of what they are like servants involved with their work. To accomplish what one wishes, what a delight. My three powers of Dharmata's view far outshine the lower yana. If I give an example of what they are like the lion that roams in the snow. To be free of dread, what a delight. My meditation, the fledgling wings of wisdom and means, soars in the space of Dharmata. If I give an example of what it is like, it's like a vulture soaring high above. To be without worry of falling, what a delight. My conduct, the thriving stripes of strong, clear intention, clears away any drowsiness. If I give an example of what it is like, it's like a tiger roaming the forest. To be free of fear, what a delight. My fruition is the three kayas manifest. With the nirmana kaya that performs benefit for beings, if I give an example of what they are like the play of the golden spotted fish. To be free of weariness or fatigue, what a delight. Sometimes I sing little tunes of realization. They far outshine appearances. If I give an example of what they are like the turquoise dragon's roar in the sky. Having no apprehension, what a delight. I, the yogi Milarepa, roam without direction in mountain retreats. If I give an example of what I am like the grazing animals that live in the hills. To be free of fear, what a delight. Delightfully, I have sung for you this song of 5 examples and their meaning, making 6. You humans and devas who reside in the towns, without distraction, focus your ears. Reflecting carefully, look at your own mind. May you not have any regret at death. May auspicious aspirations make auspicious aspirations in accord with Dharma.
Che zombe gu yin sembara yin semne gewa zombar cho ten namji nan shomba ga she ji su chakchen zhang da wang tang da ma wom tu jo be do den re re chong wa la sos ze se tang ku chu chi jin nyama ji gor sa te ma zong na.
Thus he sang, and everyone was satisfied. They all put effort into practicing virtue, and among them there were several young people who followed the Jetsun and attended him. To them, Milarepa gave the Abhishekas and instructions and had them meditate. Every one of them gained realization. This is the cycle of the students of Drin, such as Tseze and Kuchuk.
Then the Dorje Jarwata, Napi Kulan course, or that is Milarepa, do shall jar the Lictada, then I execution over take court race.
The next, number 6, is the Song of Victory over the 4 Maras and the response to a mantrika. There are 2 parts where Milarepa shows how he gained victory over the 4 Maras, and then he responds to a tantrika.
Namongoro, Situ Milarepa, Chana Ponto, Namka Zona, Chudu Chijanuke, Yaman, Jetu Chome, Datan, Simtian, Semna Pepe, Shedamre, Lama, Shu, Jitu in the China, Chogona, Nashi, Chunge Pana Lake, Azon, the Bonche, Azome, Chunge Khan, La Taka Zone to Zorshube, Watson Zone, so Stemaloshana.
Namo Guru. When the Jetsu Milarepa was staying at the Poto Red Rock Sky Fortress, some students from Ralung and Drin came to meet him. Please give us an instruction that will benefit our minds, they said. The Jetsun replied, if you all want to practice Dharma like me, it would be excellent for you to abandon all things opposed to Dharma, as I have. Therefore, abandon them. What things are opposed to Dharma? They asked. And then Milarepa sang this song in reply.
Then the guy Zontan Yamato, Simba maybe later, Gudu maybe Guming was on that time, Jonga maybe long time, sometimes to be Chodan, Mingay Jab to Jonah, Chijan to Jonas, Dado Sonway, Natanji, Kalanji, Sotani, Moson Gobe, Yortan, sometimes be Chotangi, Mingay Jab to Jonah, Chijan Jab to Jonah, Lopon, Chanja Chontanji, Loma Teba Miba, some take Messon, Messon Chirozon, to sometimes be Chotangi. Mingay Jab to Jonah, China Jab to Jonah, like Sanso Juntun Tabat, Huza Salu, Chi. 不在策略联系上，将心康为苦了中，这种特别球场的，这种家我也加不着，即将加不着呢，来些种是在马路上那样的。
Wait a minute. Kaye, listen here, you students. 1, activities without any end. 2, no satisfaction when trying to please others. 3, idle chatter with no signs of weariness. These 3 are opposed to the genuine Dharma. I leave these 3 things far behind. If you leave them behind too, that would be excellent. 1, places that have rules and restrictions. 2, groups that hope for something in return. 3, having servants who are required to please. These 3 things are opposed to Dharma. I leave these 3 things far behind. If you leave them behind too, that would be excellent. 1, masters who have very little knowledge. 2, disciples who are without any faith. 3, Dharma friends who don't keep samaya. These 3 things are opposed to Dharma. I leave these 3 things far behind. If you leave them behind too, that would be excellent. 1, husband and wife who always fight. 2, enemy sons who come from your own body. 3, angry servants who look after things. These 3 things are opposed to Dharma. I leave these 3 things far behind. If you leave them behind too, that would be excellent.
这年嘛，咱提呢songs，三年嘛就是提的老songs。等到结束两节，结束弄开就呢，养全部了弄为行动些过来手办这边。后来咱们就心里送为妈咪吧，跟我是这样的，我那种说是弄开这样的药办的，心里先开老把伊，这就送个没做呗，没叫人看着买也去，这种说是他才来把送下了，这种说是对吧？
And so then he sang, and then with faith, all of the students went on their way. One time the Jetsun was blown by a huge gust of wind and fell off a cliff. When he fell, it seemed that a tree had pierced his body. The disciples' sons were very worried, but Milarepa showed them that his body was completely without any wounds and sang the song of realization. I was blown by a giant gust of wind. The result of the harm done by this mindless tree was pain that was unbearable. But then the Dakinis gave me their medicine.
Yeah, and Jay, see you 어디 잘에 양라 홍관의 집에 흘러남 된된 집에 제주 시진 효도배 원의 종소스 송조 단가를 요장나 포르와 장말 전에 화바롱 홍교도 제반 거르베 제모지 저반 군대 니서초 초바 대통 랑원초 제종소 상태 동상나
And so then, and then on another occasion, the Chechen fell from the great Poto rock. So that's actually a very, very high rock. When the disciples' sons went to take up his corpse, they saw him sitting there laughing. They asked him what had happened, and he sang the song of realization. I extended the vulture wings of union, and flying, I flew down from Red Rock's peak. Falling, I fell into a deep abyss. Playing, I played a joke on my students. Liberating, I was liberated from samsara and nirvana. Pointing out, I've pointed out bliss emptiness.
전에 다这种多行就给样连接查全部些咱们这学的后面些用呢，那么有样样这种小别个查成也成为大堂堂定做这边悄悄呢，突然回来那么就个弄样呢，区别跟我的种说是，那就了解没错的，种种长嘛的也嘛的，都连看着嘛也长，俺的了解前两米种是，这我是老乡呢。
And then another time when Milarepa was sitting beside a great rock, a young girl came to him, repeatedly telling him that he shouldn't sit there, yet there he remained. Then the rock began to slide away, and with a wrathful gaze and wrathful mudra, Milarepa scattered the rock in every direction. His disciples' sons, thinking he had been seriously injured, went over to him, and Milarepa sang the song of realization. The flower of a yogi's body, the Dakini saved from the life-crushing blow of this red rock, Mara's executioner. I never worried that such a Mara would take me.
真的老嘛，那么就去查年吧，他养了他们过先给破关那，就我们的这拉去别给碰不见绿是确了，要么一些是确了，马几把了些把，没去呗，他秋季弄了过呗，对起看见于大英种的，我那对起假如拉什么学有因头种种，他亲戚俺就把就上法了对起，对起没错吧，英种的，真的就是从我这种说是对起没错，因是啦，我东西呢。
So Dorje sang, and then the disciple said, when the rock collapsed, when the Jetson fell down the cliff, and when his body was pierced by a tree, he was always unharmed. How can this be? The Jetson replied, my skandhas have been transformed into the rainbow body, and my afflictions transformed into wisdom. Since I understand birthlessness, I will never die. Since I have thrown the 8 worldly concerns to the wind, it is a sign that the 4 Maras have been brought to shame. So you have defeated the 4 Maras, the students asked. Yes, indeed, I have. Furthermore, my lineage for 13 generations will not be plagued by Maras.
네, 전에 지수게 총투 우초 아파 현주 이제 정말 세면에 판나리 지 우초라 접접 체자와 요새 마마이 협도 지바해 요 세레 지수케네 저 접접랑 만조송 세면에 비 지수라 양요라 추베게 안데나 요종 건종소스.
And one day, a mantrika from central Tibet came to meet the Jetson. Venerable said to him, what kind of siddhas are to be found in the land of central Tibet? The mantrika replied, they are practitioners whom the spirits give service. That in itself does not mean that they are accomplished practitioners, said the Jetson. Venerable asked, does the Jetson also receive such service? I received it like this, and then Milarepa sang this song of realization.
Mazi namke dabula dingen zije yoju korbe tinkom sejen dumbate tinkom sejen dumbata cheban kanro manam tenam choptop nyami sangort malo han je zonso zombes.
Through the cooking and boiling of samadhi, that's like an inexhaustible treasury of space, I am without desire for food, for hunger and thirst. That is looked after by the Dakinis. but I have no thought that this makes me a siddha.
写中是真的，我换那里一张牌先从我有哪去被我的中说是嘛老乡呢？
The mantrika said, can practitioners who have had visions of their Yidam deity be considered accomplished? And then Milarepa sang this song of realization.
三节我问同学们，马来门把上完了，现在看着没讲懂，去年弄了，带就没，明明一了没记，让你让就让谁吧，去年看着马也中，那没中的年半呢，教堂推蒙我说，我怕他们去现的人，若不看着马也中，这样出头一样没意思，我听过松下呢。
If you see the essence of mind and clear away the darkness of ignorance, the Dakinis will also show their faces to you. In the expanse of Dharmata, there is nothing to be seen. It is free of reference point, without mental engagement. All dharmas are themselves self-arisen and self-luminous. This is spoken of by the Dakinis. There is no more powerful speech than the Gurus. The ordinary and the supreme, all one needs should be accomplished in this life, the Dakinis too have said. But even with this, I have no thought of being a siddha.
我这总被困难的，咱俺把这俺把听到，三百七了用从把拉去边过种说是。
And then the man said, so this man is the mantrika, with what example can the mind be illustrated? Then Milarepa sang this song of realization.
什么节话没办的，别人看看总是没，什么应该办没办，马上滚了，我看别，多把他们了什么呢？别动你说蛮几，马上就被有了，就别钱他没差钱送。
This mind itself that is unborn cannot be illustrated by an example. This mind itself that's without any ceasing can be exemplified by anything for those who don't realize it. For the realized ones, the mind itself, an example and exemplified are not two different things. It's beyond any object of thought or expression. This is the blessing of the lineage. How wondrous.
现在没可怕，假设呢，就没去被贴吧他们的，假设让我网上当我们都在贴吧这穷，这些穷对些的接着我当我回去两个罗斯。
And then the man's latent tendencies awakened, and he attained unwavering faith in the Jetsun, whom he then followed and attended. Milarepa gave him the abhishekas and key instructions, and the man practiced, becoming a yogi with outstanding realization. This is the cycle of conquering the four maras and the response to a mantrika.
他突然出来想当我做这场这种学个第四的话学个，好像没那是不是着这段长段记录？俺们这种学段去是比较地多噻。
We're going to stop here.
Yeah, we should have Milarepa every night.
What?
What's that?
Mishi?
他讲到到去从马来啦，这个383去，没用的，说我们写嘛，没开心的，写实际上把忙不有了啊。
So, anyways, we have 70 more pages left in this text.
我觉得的实际上把没有的话，厕所这么大的话，工作推送我们写嘛。这就他这有工作推送我们这开头就那有的话，厕所推送我们写嘛话，好吧？야, 전에 당가서 지단 지주말라를 이렇게 원범태사 패체 로사리 전에 다다다디 다 양양대야 티고 사들이 말아와태야 사태단 거 다디 다포로 좀 휴샤는 거 세선 로사다 테마다 다 지주말라 양양대야 티고 다디 상정 보여라면 테마토 살아요.
So So what's left of this text is that so we have actually pretty much completed the 100,000 songs of Milarepa. So all of the actual collection of his songs, and now what's left is a song and some instructions on his passing into paranirvana, and this is also quite of a long chapter.
Oh,
sorry, there's one thing that's actually before that, and that's one song about the miracles displayed by Milarepa's disciples, and then after that is Milarepa's nirvana.
Yeah, then the dedication, you can song.
Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yadams and assemblies of Buddhas, bodhisattvas, yogins, yoginis, and dakinis dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, and the innate root of virtue, not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Shravaka or Pratigya Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, misleading Maras, and the hordes of demons experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of mind as such and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.
Yeah,
And see you next week.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.